Hello and welcome to the video for March the 20th. For 5th grade, this will be covering adding and subtracting fractions. So this was a task that there's a very important step that has to happen because to work with the fractions, we have to make the fractions the same before we can do anything else. So that would be where the difficulty lies for some of these problems. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got for today. I do have to apologize in advance. The last problem, which I believe was number 13, did not get photocopied when I was making my copies, and so I will have to owe you that answer at a later time. I don't have the ability to go get that right now. Number 1, which is a true equation? So my first one, if I go ahead and change this 1/2 to parts over 4, it would be 2/4 plus 3/4 gives us 7/4. Excuse me, that's 5/4, not 7/4. So that would be 1 1/4. Ernie, come here. Come here. The second one, we are actually subtracting the bottom number. We are never ever going to do that. The third option, we are going to be adding the bottom number, which we will never ever do that, which means our only option that would work would be letter D. And so if I change this to 2/6 and do 1 5/6 minus 2/6, I would get 1 3/6. Let's go across to number 4. So 4/5 minus what makes the fraction true? If I change the 4/5 to 12 parts over 15 and then figure out what I need to subtract to get 2/15, my answer would be 10/15. And when I reduce that, it would come out to be letter A. Number 2, Duval had 7/8 of a quart of milk. I've written the equivalent fraction down below using common denominator of 24 that we're going to need to work this problem. He used 1/6 of a quart, which comes out to 4/24. When I subtract that, I would get 17/24 of a quart. Number 5, what is the difference? So I'm rewriting this part as 4 parts over 6. So I can do 3 minus 1 for the whole number part, 6 minus 1/6 for the fraction part. Good boy. And then I would end up getting 2 3/6, which will convert to 2 1/2. And then our guest lecturer, Ernie, has arrived. Good boy. Number 3, which shows the addends written as equivalent fractions with a common denominator. We are going to be looking for the common denominator of 12 for this, although we could also use 24. But if we use 24, we would have to figure out, okay, how many times do I count by 3 to get to 24? It would be 8. And the top number here would have to be 8. So I can already tell by looking at the first one that this is not going to be correct. And this one is also not going to be correct. So let's take a look at our options that have 12s. So to get from 3 to 12, I would need to multiply by 4, which means my top number would be 4. So that works out here. This one doesn't work out here. I would multiply 6 times 2, so my top number changes to 2. And so that would match letter C. Number 6, which number makes mixed number makes the equation true? So I am rewriting everything. I'm going to change my 1 5/8 to parts over 24. And so when I do that, I'm going to get 1 15/24. I cannot do the 7/24 minus 15/24 part, so I have to take away a group from here, change that from 5 whole groups to 4 whole groups, and then take my 24 parts for the whole group that I took away and add it to my 7 parts to get 31/24. So now I can do a normal subtraction problem. I can do 4 minus 1 is 3, 31 minus 15 is 16, and so I'd have 16/24. So 3 16/24 would come out to be 3 2/3 when I reduce the fraction. Number 7, all they want to do is figure out what the common denominator could be. So for 6 and 8, the first number that I can count by both of those numbers to get to would be 24. For 5 and 3, the first number I could count to get there would be 15. And because of the other options, there isn't another option that I can do for that one. For 4 and 3, the first number I can count to is 12. I can also count to 24. For 6 and 9, my only option on this set of numbers is 18. And then for the last one, I could count to get to 20. And the last problem that I have the work for, again, I'll owe you the video explanation or something for number 13. Compare each sum or difference to one whole, and then we are going to not write the problem. I'm just going to draw an arrow. So I'm going to take 1 and 5/6 and change it to 1 and 10/12. If I do 1 and 10/12 minus 5/12, I still have larger than 1. So that one's going to go on this side. If I take 1 and 1/10 and I take away 2/10, I'm going to be left with 9/10, so that's going to be less than 1. If I take this one, change it to parts over 12, I'm going to have 1 and 6/12. So 6 plus 12 would give us 18 over 12 minus 9/12, so that would be 9/12 for the answer. This one I can use the same trick I used here. I didn't bother to write it in because even 9/10 plus 1/10 would give me exactly 1. This is going to be worth 2/10, so my answer would be greater than 1. I can make parts over 36 for both of these. So I would multiply this side times 4, multiply this side times 9. That gives me 28/36 plus 9/36, that gives me 37/36. And then my last one, 12 parts over 21 plus 7 parts over 21 would give me 19 parts over 21, and so that one would be less. So those are all the answers that I have for you for today. Before I leave, I want to let you all know that all of you and your families are in our thoughts and prayers as teachers and staff at Risen Christ Lutheran School. We hope you have a wonderful spring break. Stay safe, stay healthy, and know that we do miss you all and we care about you, and we hope that you are all doing well and stay safe during this time. If we have any more updates that we need to communicate between now and then, we will go ahead and do so as Mrs. Reed directs us to. So again, stay safe. Our next video will be coming out on Tuesday morning, a week from Tuesday. So I will see you all then. Have a good spring break.